Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So, I'm going to be doing a reading. Kind of just want to go over a few reminders really quick. If you'd like to book a private session with me, you can go to soulworksynergistics.com/Emmy services, Emmy dash services. You definitely do that there. If you would like to help us build the sanctuary, the Soul Sanctuary Campus, you can do that by going to soulworksynergistics.com/sanctuary. There is still time for you to enter into this mega raffle. This is going to be ridiculously amazing. No joke. Ridiculously amazing experience for whoever wins. It's a 2-hour meditative experience with energy work, readings, the whole shebang. Each entry is only $1. You go to soulworksynergistics.com/raffle. And of course, to access all things Emmy, please visit soulworksynergistics.com. We have so many different projects going on right now. And if you want to know about any of them, any different events, like I'm having a workshop very, very soon. It's in a few weeks. And this workshop, I'll be teaching the basics of energy work. It's called the Morphogenetic Fundamentals Workshop. That's going to be a really good thing to partake in if you are wanting to learn how to harness your energy, your potentiality. It's the basics. And I tell you, because of how different my energetic system is, at the end of this first workshop, like in 4 hours, because it's a 4.5 hour workshop, right? At the end of the first half, after the first 2 hours, you will be more powerful than the highest level Reiki master. I'm just saying, yo. Most people don't realize this. Just in the first 2 hours, you'll be able to harness more frequency than the highest level of Reiki master. Mm, 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 mm. I'm just saying. So if you'd like to join that, go to the link below and you'll be able to see it. It's the Morphogenetic Fundamentals Workshop. I'm bored with my cards. I want different cards. I'm tired of these cards. Yes. Probably because I miss my old cards. There's a few seats left, Eliza. Just a few. And there's 2 options to attend the workshop. And then the enhanced option is to attend the workshop and receive some mega activations from me. So it's definitely a cool experience. All right, let's get started, guys. Oh, I want to shuffle it some more. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Do that. Get a couple mermaid cards. Let's shuffle it. Okay, so I asked what this reading was going to be about. And what I was told is rethinking things and feeling the urge to reach out. Sorry. It's one of those mornings. Energy is weird, but I wouldn't say in a bad way, just like weird. Right? All right. Here it goes. Are you guys ready? So someone is rethinking something and they are feeling this undeniable urge to reach out to you. Why do they want to reach out? I don't know. I don't know. It's y'all, it's not always romantic. It's not always a romantic thing, okay? So, there's a potentiality that they want to reach out because um I don't know, maybe there's work stuff to do, maybe there's friendship stuff to work on, maybe there's all sorts of different blah 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 blah, you know. So many different potentials as to why this person wants to reach out to you. So be careful about just making it all about romance. It's not always about romance, okay? So but for some it might be about romance. Drink down some of my salt. It's a secret. So someone's been keeping a secret. I don't know what their secret is, but I'm assuming the secret pertains to you. There's something that has been withheld. There's information that they're not sharing. I think for some, that secret might be that someone is not having very good thoughts about you. Let's not take it there yet. Let's go ahead and see how this plays out. So this comes from a place of upside down autumn, right? So this is something that's been brewing since in autumn. Um, how long has this been going on? I think that's what we have to ask ourselves. How long has this actually been going on? I think I'm doing a personal reading right now. Dear sweet baby Jesus, please help me to behave myself and not get too ratchet. Please help me exert some self-control in the way I interpret these cards. Sweet baby Jesus, I pray in your name. Please, please, please regulate my level of salt. We want this to be a low sodium day. But we don't always get what we want, do we? So I'm just boundaries. Ooh. All right. So this is something where boundaries were violated. Okay. Boundaries were violated. And I feel like there's been a lot of kind of pecking, back and forth, pecking. And I think it's getting to a point where really decisions need to be made to completely halt all of the back and forth. Now, I'm sorry, you guys think that I'm thinking, but I'm not. I'm just enjoying the feeling of me scratching my ear. Sorry. Here. I'm thinking that for some of us, we have halted the back and forth, right? We've halted the back and forth. This person can't stand it. And it's like, are you dealing with a narcissist? I think if I'm going to take this reading as my personal reading, this has to do with a narcissist. That's my defiant face. This has to do with a narcissist who you escaped from, or no, I don't even want to use the word escaped because it's kind of like it carries with it this implication that you just got lucky, right? Like one day you caught them slipping and you got lucky and you were able to run off. No, no, no. There was no running off. It was a conscious decision. I'm out. I'm out. I know, at least for me, it was a conscious decision. F this, F you, F your curtains and your couch. I'm out, right? At least for me, that's what it was. And I think with that decision, because this is just one half of the reading, right? With that decision that was made, you completely took away the power of the narcissist, and they've been brewing, stewing like an acidic little tomato, just stewing. I love it. Ratatouille their bitch ass. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So they've been stewing. Good. Stew some more. No one cares. I know I don't. No one cares about your narcissistic feelings. No one cares. Carrying on. That's the extent of my personal reading for myself. Carrying on. Ooh, okay. So intention. Michael says, hold on. Rewind. So that was the narcissistic portion of the reading. Narcissists get no airtime here. Narcissists get no airtime here. I said what I said. I'll say it again. Narcissists get no airtime here. So the other aspect of the cards has nothing to do with narcissism. It has everything to do with a fear that they are not enough for you. How Piscean of us. We're like multitasking. You know what I'm saying? We're like saving the world and falling in love at the same time. That's the sense that I get. So someone has developed little feelings. Maybe it was little at the start. And I think that's what the secret is. The feelings are not so little at this point. Oh my God. I'm going to hurt feelings today. I'm sorry. I'm trying to tell myself to behave. So someone developed feelings that are not so little at this point. I don't know that they've really made it known to you that their feelings are not so little. I don't know that they need to. You feel it. Stop playing. You can feel it. I feel enough of you with like, I know. You know. You can feel it. Oh, you are just channeling some naughty Piscean energy, is what it is. That's what it is. So, did they hurt your feelings? Is that what happened? They hurt your feelings. And so now you're kind of just like, no, thank you. I don't know that it's reciprocated. I don't know that their feelings for you are reciprocated. Maybe once upon a time they were. But then at the same time, there's this aspect of it where it's kind of like, but you do, because let's face it, Piscean energy, if you don't, there is no flirtatious laughter happening silently behind the screen. I'm just saying, I think you're reciprocating, but you're hiding it. I think you're I think you're reciprocating. Someone has a crush. I think you have a crush on someone, but you don't want to say it. You don't want to admit it. And you're waiting for them to kind of make it known. They're scared of you, though. They're scared of you, and they're scared that because you're really good at hiding how you feel. And so they're afraid that you really don't reciprocate these feelings. And that's what's causing them to hold off reaching out. So rethinking things and feeling the urge to reach out. Is this reading for a cross watcher? Just reach out already. If you're a cross watcher, just reach out. What are you waiting for? I'm telling you, if you're into a Piscean and you are cross watching because you don't know what to do about the Piscean, if you wait too long, Pisceans have short attention spans. They're going to swim away. They're going to swim away. And that's that. You're just going to be, yeah, you're going to lose your opportunity. So you better just reach out already. I mean, worst case scenario, I was wrong. And at least now you know where you stand and you can move on with your life. Right? I feel like whoever this is, even if they move on externally, internally, they're never going to really move forward from this. Pisceans are a tricksy little thing to deal with. Like, when you fall in love with a Piscean, that's a whole different brand of cray cray, right? And that's not necessarily a bad type of crazy. It's just a whole different brand of it. You're just not going to find that somewhere else. Okay. You're not. You're not going to find that somewhere else. So you might as well get like a definitive yes or no from them by reaching out. I think with Pisceans, we have a tendency to not want to be the one to initiate any type of conversation or whatever it is. And if that's what you're waiting for them to be the one to do it, honey, you're in the water. They breathe water. They're not going to need to come up for air. Unless you're a water sign as well that's capable of existing at that depth, you're going to be waiting for nothing. So I think, and I'm not an astrologist, so nobody try and like get on me about my lack of astro literacy, okay? I'm astro illiterate. But I feel like the only two that could really go to that depth are the two polarities, that Scorpio and that Gemini. Those, and they're like they oppose each other, right? I think that's what people have said. But those are the two that can go that deep. Gemini is not a water sign, and it's this thing of how can they go that deep if they have to hold their breath? Well, they're two-faced. One half of them is still on the land breathing air. They don't give a shit. They're not going to drown. That's why Gemini is my favorite. My husband's Gemini, and that's the thing. Like, he doesn't have to come up for air. He don't care. He doesn't care. He's like, I still got half of me breathing. That's fine. So it's this thing of like, if you can't possibly find the courage within yourself to kind of just make this decision of reaching out, you should probably just leave it alone already. You know what I mean? Just, I don't know. This is bad life advice. We won't even call it advice. We'll just call it my opinion. Either deal with it or suffer silently for the rest of your life. Those are the choices. Deal with it or suffer silently for the rest of your life. Just, every couple weeks, every couple months, you're going to be totally obsessed thinking about this person. And then it's going to fade away. And then you have a couple weeks of just you. And then, the thoughts are going to creep back up. That's going to be the cycle. That's going to be the cycle. And, accept the cycle for what it is, carry forward. I don't know what else you're going to do if you don't want to actually address what needs to be addressed. And maybe that lack of willingness to address what needs to be addressed, to reach out and have the conversations that need to be had, is part of the reason why you're not, I don't know, worthy of the Piscean. That's harsh. Maybe that's why you feel like you're not worthy of the Piscean. Maybe that's a better way to put it, because I don't feel like you're not worthy. It feels like this stems from a lack of confidence. And I mean, you can apply this to any aspect of your life, not just romance, not just Piscean. Like, if you want something, you have to go and do it. You have to make it happen. You have to create the opportunities for this potentiality to exist as a reality in your life. You have to. What is your intention? What is your intention with your life? What is their intention with you? What is the intent here? Because intent is everything. Like, for me, I am highly sensitive to other people, right? So it's this thing of like, You could hurt my feelings immensely, and I'll be able to very easily overlook that so long as your intention as I receive it is not malignant. You didn't intentionally try to hurt my feelings. It was um, a misunderstanding, misalignment, whatever it is, but you weren't trying to hurt me. The moment I recognize you're trying to hurt me, F you, F your curtains, and your couch. Excuse me, I'm burping up truth. I'm just saying. Actually, I'm burping up desiccated thyroid. That's what I'm burping up. Just saying. I'm just saying. If you want change, you have to create that change or be dragged by it. Those are the options. Those are the options. You can't create a potentiality that is not even a potentiality. You can look at all the different potentialities that are being presented to you, and then you can make a decision and choose one of those potentialities or maybe multiple to be manifested as part of your reality, your experience. Union in reverse. Oh, oh, Bish, wake up, Bish. Bish, wake up. Bish, is this bullshit? Bish, stop playing, Bish. Hold on. Bish, is this an accurate sense that I get? Okay. Okay. I'll make it my sinus drain. Why do I have to explain? It's a conversation between Bish and I. I wonder if Michael has a spiritual budget to fix this angry line that he's causing to crease my forehead. Okay, I'll explain. So, what I asked was, Bish, is this BS regarding, the sense that I got for the meaning of the card? And Bish immediately became a traitor and said, no, it's not BS. So then I asked flat out, whatever the second question was, I've forgotten at this point. And Bish said, yes. So the sense that I got is they legit ended a long-term relationship, possibly an engagement because of you. Still their decision. It's not your fault. Unless you were trying to pursue someone that's not available, then you have nothing to feel guilty about. But apparently, you're needing to know that someone has actually literally been putting action, slow as F action, behind the word and the thought that keeps running through their head, which is probably your name. Say my name, say my name. No one is around you. Say, baby, I love you. You ain't playing games. Say my name, say my name. I'm just saying. I'm joking about saying my name. Uh yeah. So it's looking no, 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 no. Hmm. I feel like this is a setup. I just do. I do. I feel a light knocking on my auric door. Tap, tap, tap. May I come in? No, you may not. And then Michaela is like, I'm going to let her in. No. Ooh. Fine. What do you want, Marlene? Private conversations don't get discussed in live streams. You can say whatever you want. I'm not going to share any of it. Mm-hmm. 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 All right. So, which is hat? Power. Power. There's power in the familiar. So this is something that's familiar. I guess it's cycles that continue over and over and over. Cycles continuing. It's what is familiar. And these are the cycles that create, I guess, opportunities for one or both to learn. This is not something that's going to be washed away. There's no cleansing of this. Okay. This is something that's going to pickle you. You are being pickled in these juices. You are being preserved. And things are going to begin to intensify through to summer. Okay. I don't know what that means. I don't know how that's going to play out, but things will continue to intensify. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. I don't know what it is that you've done to me, but it's caused me to act in such a crazy way. No one needs protecting. Seriously. No, you're fine. You are fine. So I flipped 5 cards from what I pulled from the deck. Out of the 5, 4, it's enough for a slap. 4 are major arcana. Looks like major stuff is going to be happening. But I guess I'm lonely, broken hearted. Life's not over. I can start again. Okay, Justice card. Harmony, balance, equality, virtue, and honor. I guess harmony is trying to be reestablished, I guess. Justice is power wielded with both intelligence and impartiality. It's making decisions with all of the facts and accepting the consequences of any choices made. It is punishment of the corrupt and promotion of the deserving. Oh, the intrigue. Punishment of the corrupt and promotion of the deserving. No sympathy here. No sympathy here at all. So this thought pops in my head, and it's like, could you imagine the wrath if a highly intuitive Scorpio finally felt the need to punish you? That makes me laugh. Oh, shit. I don't know. I don't know. Marlene's laughing too. She's like, "Are you satisfied?" I mean, I don't want people punished, but this is gonna be damn intriguing. Okay, look at that. Ooh, through the skull. Hoo, hoo, hoo. Okay, 10 of wands, 10 of wands. I don't know. That's the, I'm not involved in none of that. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Okay, 10 of wands. Overwhelm, stress, obligation, refusing aid, duty. So someone's working overtime to fix things, right? Someone's working overtime to fix things. And Adrian's like, oh my God, right? I mean, it's already one thing to mess with a Scorpio, right? Like, they're not going to let that go. But it's a whole nother thing to catch the wrath of not just a Scorpio, but a highly intuitive one. Woohoo. I don't know. So there's a lot of overwhelming energies here. There was a lot of stress. There was a lot of obligatory existence. They don't want help correcting whatever it is that they're needing to do. So the 10 of wands represents taking on too much and refusing to accept help. When Sagwa's daughter went missing, he searched alone in vain. How do you guys feel? You guys feel okay? There's like energetic shifting. Hmm. Anywho. So the Hierophant. Excuse me. Conformity, compassion, social approval, tradition, and legacy. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. It's almost like this sense of like returning back to the, I guess, the program. I don't know how I would put it. Like, I hear coming back home. Does someone identify you as home? I wonder if someone identifies you as home and they're ready to come back home, and maybe they're just preparing their things so they can come back home, you know? Um ooh, ooh, that's a high honor. It's almost like this sense of someone sees you as the white buffalo woman, That's what you are to them. To some cultures, especially Lakota, they see the white buffalo as extremely sacred, extremely sacred. So it says the Hierophant is a divine figure and teacher who shares the rules, rites, and rituals to follow as a community. There's a place for everyone and everyone in their place. She encourages the comfort and support of the group, the path well trodden. So, oof, mm, mm, mm. You are like their white buffalo woman. Buffalo soldier, dreadlock rasta. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. All right. Fighting on arrival, fighting for survival. Here we go. The world card. Completion, recognition, fulfillment, triumph, celebration. Ooh, shit. They're done. Um, ooh. What flower is that? All right, so the card. The world is a happy ever after ending following a difficult journey. Hinemoa and Tutanake represent the victorious conclusion, a positive outcome most desired. However, a conclusion also heralds the start of a new journey. So, put that card there. And then the next card, fighting on arrival. Okay, the devil card. Greed, controversy, violence, strange experiences, and addiction. Mm-hmm. Ooh, damn. Okay. So I think this is what they're dealing with. The devil gives in to the ego, lusting for unnecessary or harmful things, unwilling to leave negative situations. It's a dragon sitting upon a pile of gold it does not need, a person setting a forest on fire for their own gain. Mhm. This sounds like a Selena and Justin moment. Oh, shit. The level of toxicity. Oh, I'm just saying. Because it reminds me of her song, Set Fire to My Purpose, and I Let It Burn. This is just, I don't know how this is going to turn out. Let's look at more cards. This is now like a movie to me. How is this going to turn out? Mm-hmm. My goodness. It ends with him riding that heifer back home. I'm sorry. That's how it ends. Um It's not that funny, Marlene. Marlene is laughing so hard. I'm not going to make someone cry. That's just mean. What are you so catty about today? You're like just so catty right now. Like you're like mean girl status. Mean mom status. She like what? All right. Two of Cups. A happy relationship, equality, partnership, attraction, and connection. So that's what this demon whore doesn't want. Okay. This demon whore doesn't want this Two of Cups action to happen. But it's like that's where the world is headed. That's where the world is headed. What is this? Angel's trumpet. Let me see. I got to figure out what plant that is. Looks like it. It totally looks like it. Okay. Super toxic. Hold it heralds a time of transformation and rebirth. It's especially helpful for those in transition, those resisting letting go of material attachments, or those engaged in the literal dying process. Can be used in love spells. And then gourds. So it's like, see how the sun is setting? Whatever love spell was done to an individual, whoever this reading is about is the individual. There was a love spell that was done on them and it's being undone. It's finishing out. It's being undone. Good. Well done. Let's see. Ancestral spirits. So the datura opens all higher chakras above the crown. Belladonna, foxglove, and angel's trumpet. So it's a lot of really toxic stuff. Oh, that's powerful. So it's this sense of you are portrayed as extremely poisonous and toxic because Angel's Trumpet is extremely, extremely poisonous. So is Foxglove, Digitalis, well, Angel's Trumpet is the Torah. But that's the thing is like you were portrayed as this, and they just saw you as this the most beautiful flower, delicate. And the thing with that is, if you look at homeopathic concepts, sometimes the introduction of the poison is the very thing that stimulates the immune system to properly develop an immune response. So, definitely not giving you guys any type of medical advice, but some of the homeopathic medicines that I have, one is for fevers that are in excess of like 102, 103-degree fever. That's you're reaching a pretty high fever. And you take this homeopathic medicine and it will help to restabilize your temperature. What is the ingredient? Belladonna. That's toxic. That you could die off of that. So it's like knowing how to properly use the active ingredients is a very, very powerful thing. And I think this person is beginning to learn how to utilize your energy, your power. Not that they're harvesting from you, more like, oh, geez. This is actually a reflection of you. You guys are reflections of each other, reciprocal reflection. So, what they once said to deter that person from reaching out to you, it's now the very thing that keeps them pushing forward to figure out how to reach out once again. So, it's like this sense of they see you're the very medicine that they need. They finally understand how sick the situation has been, how sick they've been made to feel. And you are the only medicine that will resolve this. Now, you're not obligated to do anything. This is not an obligatory type of situation where just because someone sees you as the medicine, that you have to crush yourself up, compact yourself into a pill, and allow someone else to consume you. I don't think so. I don't think so. But this is definitely something that you need to consider. not the being crushed up and swallowed, um, but considering how you're now being viewed, the way it's shifted, because it has shifted. Um, it's just a lot. There is a lot here to unpack, and I don't know. So, Nine of Wands in reverse, a stalemate, stubbornness, hesitance, giving in, paranoia. So, if they are a reflection of you and you're stubborn AF, I mean, naturally they would be as stubborn as you are, right? So, I don't know. Ocean Lover says, good for the people for coming out of so much fog. May they be empowered and thrive no matter what. Yeah, that would be good, to thrive no matter what, to be feeling empowered within your journey in your life. Um, Eight of Cups in reverse, aimlessness, fear of abandonment, depression, settling, hopelessness. So this is where they've existed for quite some time, and they still have that fear of being officially abandoned by you. Let's see. Three of Wands in reverse, returning home, wallowing, frustration, delays. They're returning home, but they're still in the process of wallowing, and that's what's causing the delay. They're delayed. That's all. It's just a delayed thing. They need time to process. Don't encourage that. Why are you so mad? Why are you so mad though? Like, they made their own decisions. That's how I see it. They made their decisions and their decisions led to their learning. So, what's there to be mad about? What's there to be mad about? As long as they're learning. And I understand, like, from a mother's perspective, you want to protect your child as much as possible. And you want to, like, um, save them from unnecessary heartache, heartbreak, but here's the thing, you never experience anything that's unnecessary. Even when you make a wrong turn, you learn something. It's not a wrong turn. One of the things that one of the things about my life, for a large part, well, not a large part, for quite a few years, I was a makeup artist and photographer and hairstylist and wardrobe. And the reason I was able to do the type of work that I did at the level that I did was because I wasn't necessarily working in a studio only. I would always find the most intriguing backgrounds. And that requires me not just knowing the area, but be willing to drive up and down every single street and turn at every single turn just to find this little, slice of whatever imagery I'm trying to create. Like, one time, one of my most favorite pictures, um, was of this. I did this photo shoot with this one girl, and she brought she brought some, like, very interesting um, outfits for me to kind of create a look for her, and I paired the outfit with a faux hawk. This was years ago. So I did a full-on faux hawk on her, and she was like, "This is an interesting combo." And I was like, "Don't worry, it'll come together." And we're driving down this dirt road. We don't really know where we're at. And I could tell she's getting nervous, like this is a total bullshit thing this girl is doing. And I was like, don't worry, it will turn out. And I saw what I needed to see and I slammed on my brakes and I was like, this is it. And she goes, this is what? Because I stopped at someone's yard and she was just like, we're here. And I was like, we're here. I stopped because I saw goats. I saw goats. I saw goats and I saw the bleach dried grass, the long grass. And I was just like, this is it. And she didn't quite understand it because it looked kind of dirty and everything. And I was like, no, trust me, this is it. And we took the pictures. And then she saw the pictures raw in my camera. And she goes, oh my God, you saw all of that from a dirt road? I sure as hell did. I did. I saw that. That's what I saw. And she's like, oh my God. And today, that's some of my most favorite frames that I've ever taken to date. I would not have been able to create that with her had I not first had the courage to stand my ground and like, no, this is how it's going to go. This is, I can't explain it, but this is all gonna come together beautifully. And she was just like, okay, well, I'm gonna trust you, because I told her, you've seen my portfolio. And like you're the one that contacted me, so it might be good for you to just listen to me. And that's kind of what happened. I'm trying to get the picture for you guys. I just love this picture so much. It's ridiculous. Let me find it. Here. Hold on. I will show you guys. This was so fun. And then the owner actually came out while I was setting up my strobes and everything. And he's like, can I help you? And I was like, is it okay if we just kind of stay at the end of your driveway? He's like, sure. What are you guys doing? And I had told him, oh, we're just doing a really quick photo shoot. And he goes, with my dirty ass goats? I was like, yeah. I was like, can I touch them? He goes, they're not friendly. The goats were. He was selling the goats for food. So he's like, yeah, no, people buy it for food. So we don't touch them and stuff. We don't pet them. And I was like, oh. And so actually, while we were doing the shoot, one of the goats rammed the fence. I was just like, oh no, little buddy. No, little buddy. No, little buddy. Don't do that to the fence. But I digress. Like, we would not have been able to create what we created had I not been able to have the willingness to go up and down different streets and whatnot. Like, it's just one of those things. It's just one of those things. Like, how willing are you? How willing are you to create physically in your life, to manifest what it is you want? So hold on. Oh wait, no. Look at the goats. Eventually they stopped ramming the fence. And she's like, are you sure they're not going to break through? They won't break through. Trust me, right? They won't break through. And I asked the owner and he's like, I don't know. That one's pretty mad. And I was like, can you make him stop? Can you make him stop? Because they're scaring my model. You just have to be willing. You have to be willing to put the effort into bringing to fruition the very thing you've been visualizing. And that's one of the reasons why I loved being a photographer. Like, I could see things in a way that other people wouldn't necessarily see it. And it's not that my vision is superior. It's that there's just something, like something about being able to have a tangible part of what was just a visual. It's like seeing your poetry become physical. I love it. My back can't handle it, but I loved it. I definitely loved it. I loved how it gave me the opportunity to basically see my thoughts manifest every single time. Every single time I was able to manifest into physicality something that I saw just in my head. So that's one of the things, you have to be able to allow yourself to go the distance in order to get what you actually deserve. You have to go get it. So, Knight of Coins, ambition, hard work, persistence, and being efficient. Sometimes the most efficient thing is to let go of trying to be efficient, because sometimes efficiency does not go hand in hand with what your soul is trying to have you experience. All right. Okay. All right. Soul cage in reverse. The message can be quite subtle. It does not necessarily mean that you are free from the soul cage, but that perhaps you deny that there are any cages at all around or about you. So this is about denying how your fear or their fear creates this sense of like, it's like an imprisonment, feeling very imprisoned because of the fear. Don't allow your fear to cripple you. Everything that's been worth my while has been something that I've been afraid of at one point. Everything that's been worth my while has been something that I've been afraid of at some point. And oh, the rewards of pushing past my fear and using my life as a template. Literally, everything that's caused me so much fear and anxiety as I'm about to begin it, because I don't know how it's going to go. I don't know how I'll be received. All of the I don't knows. I'm a perfectionist through and through. I am a perfectionist. I'm dealing with it. I'm working on it. I'm trying my hardest to not allow my perfectionism to continue to cripple me. And it's important for me to share this because when you live with a level of perfectionism that turns into a pathology, like a diseased state, unless you can guarantee absolute domination and success, you don't even want to try. You don't even want to try. And I reached a level of success of dealing with my perfectionism because now it's like, you know what? Let me not even get into that slippery slope type of thinking of, well, what if this, what if that, what if blah, 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 and blah, 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 and what if. Instead, I'm like, well, let's just see. Let's see what happens. And every single time, I really get to see the full gravity of where my life is taking me. because I allow myself to just observe instead of control, instead of try and force a creation that I don't even know if that's what's needing to be created. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know all the answers for me or my life, and I'm not supposed to. I don't need to understand everything before I can comply with what my soul is asking me to do. I don't need to know how everything is going to play out before I commit to it. I just need to commit to myself and really allow myself to unfold like a wildflower. Do you realize that when you have all the components that are necessary, you grow no matter what? And what are those components? Well, water, sun, and some type of soil. Well, what do you need from the soil? Darkness. You need something that will hold on to you. I feel like for many of us, soil is the adversity that we come across day in and day out. All of the efforts of other people trying to bury us. Do you know how many people have tried to bury me? Figuratively and literally. Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know. There's too many. And here's the thing, people be like, "Oh my god, how can you just be so okay with that?" Oh, because they're nothing in the grand scheme of my life. They're a handful of dirt in this expansive garden I call my life. That's it. And it's like, "But Emmy, oh my gosh, you must be super buried at this point. Like, how did you get out?" I didn't. Some seeds must be buried very deep in order for that seedling to grow properly. Some just sit at the surface. But the ones that will reach very, very high, they must have the capacity to also grow very, very deep. It's said that as tall as a tree is, the roots are just as deep, right? And so all these people that try and bury you in life, all they're doing is assisting in a lifelong process of you reaching for the sky. Michael's reminding me of this thing he told me a couple of years ago. He got so irritated with me because I was non-compliant. That's what he calls me sometimes. He calls me that often. It's not sometimes. Non-compliant. That's what he calls me. And so I remember one time I was being non-compliant yet again, and he scolded me. He scolded me. And at one point in that scolding, he said, "It's not just enough to reach for the stars. It's time to take your rightful place among them." And if we're going to listen to modern science, the sky is limited to the earth. There's that atmosphere that keeps the sky bound to the earth. Where I'm going is beyond that. According to modern science, if I am to take my rightful place among the stars, I must break through that firmament. It's been said by quite a few that we've never actually gotten past the atmosphere. That's what some say. That's what some believe. That we have just been in that ionosphere, that the outermost regions. That's not enough. Simply allowing yourself to be confined to the outermost regions of your comfort zone is not enough. You want real growth? You have to exit. You have to stretch yourself to the point that that boundary is broken. And that's when you get that breakthrough. It's like we tell ourselves, "Oh my gosh, Life is breaking me. It's breaking you open so that you can exit out of the programs and the mindsets that are causing you to believe that this mediocre life that you're living, and I don't care how much money you make, until you begin living in accordance with what your soul has planned for you, the level of greatness that your soul is ushering you towards, your life is still mediocre. I see people who choose to live in the mediocrity of material wealth. How's your soul? How's your spiritual bank account? Material wealth means nothing to me. Literally nothing. It means absolutely nothing to me. How rich is your soul? How full of life are you? How much life can you give to other people? Can you exist in a way where just the sight of you inspires other people to reach deeper into their own divinity? Where you don't even have to try, just the sharing of you in your most authentic state in the most vulnerable ways. That's a richness that's never forgotten by the people who witness you just being. They will not forget that. Ah, that's why. That's why you have that type of richness. That's why they won't. It's not that they can't, it's that they won't. They won't let go. They hold on to this essence that you waft around as you walk through your life. It's an intoxicating type of essence. It's intoxicating. Have you ever been around someone or come across a person, maybe a stranger, who there is just something about them that is just intoxicating? You don't know what it is, but you just like, wow, I can't stop looking. And it's not necessarily that you're drawn to their aesthetics, but there's just something. Mm. Oh, wow. I didn't realize. I didn't realize. Mm. Uh, I'm sorry. Okay. Visions, psychic images, clairvoyance, seeing, out of body travel. I don't, no, no, no. No, 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 no. So Michael says that I should share my internal processing. I feel like that's kind of irrelevant. Like, It's just my own internal processing. And he says that I should ask you if you want to hear my internal processing, what I was internally processing. So, um, I guess if you want to know, then just let me know, and I suppose I could share. I'm going to be honest, I don't really want to. Um, it's just awkward, but yeah. Mm. So I remember a time when I just turned 19, and I was going to college, and I was working full time, so school full time, working full time. And it's just this very distinct memory that pops up, because that was the point where I decided to more heavily hide myself. So there's been this, I've just always had this happen ever since as long as I can remember, where any space I enter into, everyone will kind of just pause and look at me. And there will be almost like the space will hold its breath for a second. And I don't know if it's because I'm holding my breath from anxiety. And then as I exhale, then it's almost like everyone kind of just goes back to whatever they were doing. It's just like, it's just weird. And when I entered into my teens, young adulthood, that became very intense. It became a very intense type of experience. And the memory that pops up, so we had just finished my then BFF. He and I had just finished our criminalistics class. I was going to be a cop. So we were taking criminalistics, and this campus is like on a hill. So there's a lot of stairs, like a lot of stairs. And we were going to go and walk through like I don't know, it's kind of like a courtyard, because we needed to get to the gymnasium for our next class, which was badminton. And we were walking up the steps. You have to go up like an entire flight of steps. It's outdoors, in order to get to that area. And so when we got to the top of the steps, I was in the middle of talking to my BFF about something, and I really wasn't looking. And right when we got to the top, he stopped. He stopped walking. And I was still talking, and I was like, "What's wrong?" And he's like, he kind of turns his back to the courtyard, and he looks at me. He goes, "Damn." And I was like, "What? What happened?" And he was like, "Everyone's staring at you." And I was like, "Oh, is something wrong? Do I look weird?" And he complimented me, and I was just like, and it weirded me out. It literally weirded me out so much, because in that moment it wasn't the usual, like, people will stop, look at me for a moment, and then go back to what they were doing. um it's a college, and there happened to be a lot of guys there in that moment. And mm, they all started like catcalling me, and I didn't like it like at all. And so it was almost this thing of like, hiding myself away. And I didn't realize how much I hid myself away all the way till now, actually, where I only allow a small percentage of my energy and my essence to be felt, to be detected, um, to be experienced by other people. And it's this thing of like, why? Why hide yourself away to that degree? And I don't really have an answer for why. This fear of being seen, being witnessed, of your essence being enjoyed by any who choose to enjoy it. Um, I don't have the answer as to why. I just have a realization that I'm still so deeply hidden, despite how much I've already allowed myself to share. So, in many ways, have I grown? Yes. But have I grown to the degree that I'm meant to grow, that I need to grow? Probably not. And there goes the perfectionism. Michael says to continue processing out loud. No, it's not a failure. No, you're not being fake. No, it's not a form of lying to people who care about you. No, it's not evidence of how unworthy you are. Yes, it's part of your process of unfolding. No, you can't hold yourself accountable for something you were unaware of until this moment. Yes, perfectionism is ugly. But no, I'm not ugly along with it. As you learn and grow, you'll come to realizations of how much more growth there's still left to have, to experience, how much more of you and your life there is still to grow into. There's still a lot. So I don't know why I saw this card and thought that was the number 17. It's 37. But this this applies. It says farewell to the moon. Appreciate and enjoy lunar light and cycles, and it's the ebb and flow of your growth. It's allowing yourself to continue the process of falling in love with yourself no matter what phase of your cycle you're in. The waxing and waning, the hiding away and turning back to face the world. And then it says to withdraw from the moon is to withdraw from the natural world, from the world of women. And there may be a sense of the night being uncertain and untrustworthy, a hesitation in coming to experience your nature. You are able to intellectually grasp the details of your life, but you are too much in the head and have not come to be in the belly, the deep self, the instinctual tidal being that's powerful and creative. So, this is an undoing of yet another layer. And as you get closer to the core, you'll find more and more truth. And you'll find the roots that will help you to weather any storm. Refusing to see and understand how cycles perpetuate, fear of the night and of darkness, a misinterpretation of what is to be in darkness and the night. Too much of an attempt to fit in, so much so that the natural essence of you is hidden and smothered by the constructed and cultivated self. Michael's asking me to read it again. Too much of an attempt to fit in, so much so that the natural essence of you is hidden and smothered by the constructed and cultivated self. And so comes the realization that in my attempt to cultivate my environment, all I was cultivating was myself. Visions, psychic images, clairvoyance, seeing out of body travel. Mermaids do much of their work, their spirit work, by moonlight. Under moonlight, we can see much more of what's taking place within each other's energetic space and the layers of our energetic field. We can see where there are leaks and where there is energy compounding and compacting, almost like a growth over a wound to protect it. We can see what needs to be carefully and slowly removed and worked with, because under the blue light of the moon, intensities, drainage areas, and torn aspects of energy field become clear and obvious. We often have visions of places far, far away, and we're able to extend our energy and to send it traveling to places we could not reach, not even in the swiftest currents, not even in a Gulf Stream. But in moments, we can be by your side wherever you are in the world, because we can travel energetically. We must return to the source, to the ocean, and we physically do not move from this space. How can you too become more able to travel, to see, to be an energetic voyager who has yet a solid home in their form? Mm, mm. Interesting. The final line, to be an energetic voyager who has yet a solid home in their form. The final card, homeland, card number 44. The number 44 is the number of the counterparts. 4 and 4 4 is a number of self. When you put two fours together, those are equals standing side by side. When you combine the two, it results in the number 8. 8 being the number of merger and reunification for all of infinity. Homeland, arrival, a journey ends, establishment, building, settled. The last line for this: you cannot separate from it without separating from a part of your own soul, your own deep self. There's a time to journey and explore. There's a time for adventure and uncertainty. There's a time to be a stranger, the foreigner, the one who does not come from that place. And then there's a time to go home. Home is not, as so many of you have taught and thought, a heaven. It's not the space that exists after death. It's a place on this earth, and it's a place of your blood and your bone, and where you would swim to now if you had the endurance of our friends, the great blue whales. The turtles know their home, that place where they were born, and you humans have several homes. One is a place of your ancestors, the place where your blood comes from. We ask you now, where is that home? Do you know where it is? Because if you do not know, it's time to discover this. The second place is a homeland that is a place of your birth. The first memories this lifetime, the place where your story began to be told and where you began to take shape, the being you are today. Memories and lessons and friendships and delight. It may be time to reconnect with that space and place too. To look back a little, as memories are like water and do dwell if they're moved and remembered, stirred and pondered at sometimes. The third place, it's a place where you were reborn. It's a place where you were reborn and will be reborn again and again this lifetime. That place you came home to your true self. When you notice that you felt comfort and happiness, it may be a moment. Something that seems so very small, but we all have them, these homelands within. And now it's time for a homecoming for you. To know the places, people, thoughts, and stories that have shaped your soul. Know them. Come home. Visit a while and know you are who you are again before your next wonder voyage begins. So it's this coming back home to you, coming back home to yourself, coming back home to the place where you first realized who you are, where you first went through the process. And what is that process? You cannot be rebuilt into who you're meant to be until you are first broken down to all the different components and then reconstructed by soul itself. Coming to a realization, home is all the places where I was broken. Not because I wasn't enough, not because that's what I deserve, not because I was being punished or any of that, not because I made a mistake, but because I had outgrown that form. And in order to be rebuilt into a form that is more in alignment with the development, the evolution of my purpose, I had to first be deconstructed because I cannot be made of anything but myself. And if the parts of me that are necessary to create the newer me, to be reborn, is already being used in a way that's not even appropriate for me anymore, then I must be deconstructed. I must allow me to be what I am built from next. There is a richness in the decay of life and connections. It creates the potentialities that lead to the realities. There is a richness in the decay. And if you can hold strong, allowing your patience to be your strength, something is patiently waiting for you. Something that will serve as a component to take your journey and your understanding to the next layer and level of expansion. That next layer is where new leaves will grow. And those leaves will provide you sustenance without you ever moving, just by being exposed to the truth, the light of your truth, and allowing your tears as you release the emotions, the blockages, the fear, the lack of belief in self. That doubt needs to be released. And the most efficient way to release is to allow yourself to feel and allow those feelings to overflow as a form of self-love. And I, over the years, have come to realize crying is not a sign of weakness. Not at all. Crying is a letting go. It's an overflowing of liquid self-love so that you may see clearly. What happens when you get something in your eye? It waters quite a bit to cleanse itself. You're so perfectly designed without even realizing it. Do you shame yourself when you cry because you have something in your eye? No, you're like, I have something in my eye. Let me get it out. And it's like when you cry because you have something in your heart or stuck in your throat, then you shame yourself. Why? That's the natural process of getting that out. But society would have us believe that should anyone ever witness you processing your life in the way you're designed to process your life, rather than shutting down the way you're programmed to, you're somehow unstable. I've had many a friend share their concern about my lack of emotional stability. I'm the most solid motherfucker you'll come across. Because I cry? That's evidence of how solid I am. that I allow you to witness me in my vulnerability with no fear, because I know you can't do shit to me. I don't have to be afraid. I don't have to hide away. I can experience this moment in the way it was designed for me to be experienced by my soul. Whether it's tears or laughter, I'm experiencing it however. It's a very beautiful thing to be able to finally have the courage to discover myself in front of other people. And yes, I keep looking away from the camera because it's still a very uncomfortable thing. And no, I don't always have to make eye contact with everyone. I can pick and choose who I'll look in the eyes. And if you want to sit there and tell me it's rude for me to not look you in your eyes, I will sit here and tell you you're inconsiderate as fuck to not consider how uncomfortable it makes me feel. Now is a time for us to reconsider, rethink things, reach out to your own soul. And for some of you, it's very difficult to reach out to your own soul. So, what your soul has devised is for you to have in physical form your own reflection, so that in that connectivity, you'll be able to connect with your own divinity, right? Being able to connect with your own divinity through connecting with the people who are reciprocal reflections of your heart, your integrity. And no, we don't have to agree about everything. You can still be my reciprocal reflection and not agree with me about what's the best color, what's the best food, what's what. Those are preferences, they are not truths. Those are opinions. We're still allowed to be individuated sparks of creation. You are still allowed to be an individuated identity. We were never all supposed to be the same, but we all are reciprocal reflections of each other, reflections of us in varying stages of development, varying parts of our history, present and future. You could come across someone who's the you were 5 years ago, or someone who's the you are right now, or someone who is the you will be. Matthew says, I can't cry. I did it as a child, did when my brother died, but I try to get out of the way and let tears go, but I just feel blocked and hard, but I still try to let it out, like my tears reject me. Tears are not human. Tears cannot reject you. You've internalized the rejection of your external environment. If that's the environment you're in, an environment that rejects you being your most authentic self, how could you ever possibly be successful in accepting yourself and releasing and crying and purging? Maybe we need to understand that some environments need to be rejected, that we need to let go of certain places, certain people, certain things. And in letting go, we are removing the roadblock that prevents us from moving forward. It's this sense of who blocks you, whose opinions and maltreatment blocks you from your healing. Okay, why are they still in your life? Well, because no, no. For me, once upon a time, it was this standard of if you're toxic, then you can't be in my life. And I totally get if like you're not toxic and you're just supporting toxic people because you feel bad for them and this and that. And I think I've grown because now it's like if you support toxic people and toxic behavior, if you can defend that, with all due disrespect, fuck you. Fuck out of my life. I don't think so. I don't need to explain shit. But I mean, no, you need to let people. I don't need to explain shit. It's not my job to be your mama and your teacher and your pastor too. I don't think so. No. See, the reality here, if someone is going to be toxic towards me, if someone is going to maltreat me and you can defend them, see, the problem isn't whether you're toxic or not. The problem is that you agree that I don't deserve to be treated with respect and dignity. And that's a major fucking problem for me. That is a major, major fucking problem for me. So you go over there and you guys be BFFs. I'm going to be here and still continue to be the badass motherfucker that I am. And no, you won't harden my heart. I'm incapable. There are some things that I'm incapable of. And those things, I'm actually proud of being incapable. I'm incapable of hardening my heart to the degree that I can no longer love other people. I'm incapable of ceasing my desire to continue to nurture and provide and all of these other beautiful things. I'm incapable. And I love it. I love it. I love being incapable in those ways. One thing I am very glad that I'm not incapable of is getting rid of toxic motherfuckers who don't treat me with the level of regard that I know for a fact I've more than earned. Get to a point where you can live in that way. When you know you have earned the dignity, the respect, the regard, don't settle for anything less. I don't care what I lose, who I lose. No. Because you know what? If I have to lose me in order to gain you, that's not a gain, that's a loss. That is a loss. That's a loss. Matthew says, I'm way past explaining myself. I totally get it. You're right. I have to keep growing. Here's the thing. If you're a wildflower placed in a pot, it's not enough to keep growing. You have to be removed from the pot, especially if you've already become root bound. That cripples the plant. It prevents the proper growth, the proper health. It is not enough for me to keep growing. I also have to liberate myself from the pot I placed myself in. For what? So people could enjoy me indoors. I'm an outdoor plant. That's why I'm not thriving. There's certain plants, you cannot keep that plant indoors. It has to grow outdoors. You can provide all the artificial whatever, but that plant needs to be outdoors. So my husband, I was like, maybe we should talk about having another baby. And he's like, no. And then he goes, I'll get you a plant. Because I was like, if you don't want a baby, let's get a puppy. I don't know if you guys remember this conversation we had like so many months ago. I think it was last summer. No, it was this winter, right? So he said he would get me some plants. And he did. And then next thing you know, we had to go and grocery shop. And we went to Costco. And sometimes Costco will have plants and trees depending on the season. And I saw nectarine trees that are taller than me. And so I said, I need a nectarine tree as well. Hey, plants are my babies. They're my babies. Okay. So he got me a nectarine tree, and it already had all these little baby nectarines. They were like size that small. And we get home and he's like, where do you want it? And I said, right here in the living room. And he thought that, I meant just put it here for now while you open the double sliding doors to put it in the backyard. He sets it down in the living room, and then he goes to open the sliding door. And I was like, no, this is where it's going to live. In the living room. Like, this is it. This is where it's staying. And he's like, you want a tree in the living room? Yes. Yes. Exactly. Yes. And I rationalized at that house that is not this house, it's a different house. That house, it had skylights all across the living room. And then I had all my grow lights. And I had 2 grow lights that were positioned. All 8 bulbs were on it. And he's like, do you want a tree in the house? Yes, that's what the fuck I want. I want a tree in the house. What? It fit? It's taller than me, but it fit. I'm just saying. And I thought it was all good. I thought it was all good until all the leaves began to fall. That's not where it belonged. It didn't like it inside. It wanted to be where it belongs, outside. So I put it outside after a few weeks. The leaves stopped falling off. And it became happy again. Very, very happy again. It doesn't matter if someone can provide you all the basics. Excuse me. Failure to thrive is failure to thrive is failure to thrive. She says, but Emmy, it's been outside and might have weird bugs in the soil waiting to hatch. It's an outside plant. Trust me. Trust me, Liza. Trust me. Castile liquid soap plus neem oil in a pressurized sprayer. And mosquito bits. Trust me. Trust me. The thing wasn't about the bugs. I mean, this is not even like 1/50th of the plants that I have. It's not even like a 50th. I legit live in a jungle, indoor jungle. Indoor jungle. As long as they don't show themselves to me. It's okay. It's okay. It'll be okay. One of the, it's a tree similar to that one, but it's huge. Um, I watered it. I think it was grown outdoors when I first bought it. Because when I brought it home and I watered it, and inside the water tray, suddenly, like the next day, I went to go talk to my new plant, which was about as tall as me. And I stepped on something and I was like, what is that? And it was hard. And I thought it was like black Play-Doh or something, like strings of Play-Doh. I don't know what it was. And I was like, ew, what is that? It was an entire colony of worms. It was an entire colony of like night crawlers. And they shriveled up and died because I watered it. And they all came out, all came out the bottom of. So it's okay. It's definitely going to be okay. Yeah, no, I was scared to go near the plant again for a few weeks. But I got over it. I got over it. And I was like, it's going to be fine. They're already dead. It's okay. I'm not scared of worms, but I was just like, what else is going to crawl out? Yeah, no. We have to allow ourselves to pick and choose exactly what we will allow ourselves to be exposed to. You know? Some things are worth it. Like it's worth it for me to be grossed out about worms so that I can be surrounded by living things. My home is full of life. It's literally full of life. And I like it that way. I like it that way because for far too long, I didn't have a single plant. It's just nothing. Nothing. No. I'll take the bugs. They'll die if I see them. I'm not joking. I will kill them if I see them. And I will kill them before I even realize what I've done. I'll just be like, they're dead. Oh my God, it's on my hand. Okay, but that's okay. That's okay. It's okay. It really, truly is. To be around living things is to really, truly feel alive. To really, truly feel alive, you have to be around living things. I think it's time for us to really assess, do we feel alive and how alive do we feel? And what do we need to feel even more alive? And that's a good question for us to end at. Thank you guys so much for sharing this space with me. It's been a really amazing talk with everyone this morning. I'll be coming live this afternoonish evening, 4:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'll be doing expedites. If you would like energy work or a reading, I'm going to be doing that. So look for the link. I'll be live 4:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time today. And I hope I see you guys there. Please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. Join me when I'm live. And I'll see you guys today, 2:30, 4:30, 4:30. Girl, 4:30. 4:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.